Hey y'all, it's Dan back with another video. Saw this story about Joe Biden making another gaffe. Creepy Joe, Sleepy Joe. So he says you ain't black if torn between him and Trump in a dust up with Charlemagne the God. Joe Biden faced a swift backlash on Friday for suggesting during a contentious radio interview with host Charlemagne the God that those having a hard time figuring out whether to support him or President Trump ain't black. He's dropping slang here. Joe Biden trying to be hip, taking the black vote for granted, figuring out that 66 number of the beast. So the dust up occurred 17 minutes into the former vice president's interview on The Breakfast Club. And the host says, "You can't do that to black media," as if they're different. So he says, "You ain't black." That's equals 44. Why is that interesting? Because Joe Biden equals 44. Scripted to say that. And Joe Biden equals 64. They're always saying these politicians are, making all these gaffes and everything. It's like, no, it's all by the numbers. Joe Biden 64, and he spoke on the Breakfast Club 64, and he's the Democratic presidential nominee 154, and he's on the Breakfast Club 154. Isn't there a movie, The Breakfast Club? So, occurred 17 minutes into the interview, as I mentioned before, and he's the Democratic presidential nominee equals 170 or 17. And ain't black equals 170. Ain't even equals 64. Like Joe Biden. There's more news by the numbers. Let's roll that into this other one that I did about the Manchurian Candidate. I watched this movie. This was the 2004 version, not the 1962 version with Denzel Washington, Meryl Streep, and Levi Schreiber, I think his name is. Got 6.6 stars. I'll show you why that's interesting. So the Manchurian Candidate, for those that don't know, is about a platoon that's in Iraq. Denzel Washington is the leader of the platoon. He plays a guy named Marco, Captain Marco, and Sergeant Shaw is in his platoon, and Sergeant Shaw basically saves the day, or at least that's the story. And then they find out that it's different. Soldiers are kidnapped and brainwashed for sinister purposes. Jonathan Demme directed it. Manchurian Candidate, kind of about mind control. Check it out. So Denzel Washington, look at that, and Manchurian Candidate, 196, 79, and 97. Pretty good match there. Of course, 79, the reflection of 97. And Denzel equals 66. It's got 6.6 stars. Right? Jonathan Demme, the guy who did it, 66. And Meryl Streep, the other star in it, plays the conniving, manipulative mother who basically hypnotizes her son to kill at least a couple people in the movie. So the two stars, Streep and Washington, are 6 months and 6 days apart. Their birthdays are. Interesting. And here's Meryl Streep, born June 22nd. She's 5'6". And Denzel Washington, born the 28th of December. His full name is, what's his full name? Denzel Hayes Washington Jr., and she's Mary Louise Meryl Streep. So, and then Robert Jonathan Demme's full name equals 105. And like masonry, just like Streep's full name, masonry numbers 105, masonry. Jonathan Demme also 123, like conspiracy, just like Meryl Streep's full name with her nickname thrown in there. Let's look at Meryl Streep again. Born June 22nd. And from her birthday to the release of this film, it was 38 days. It was 38 days. So she's 70 right now. So the film came out in 2004, which was what, 16 years ago? No, 15 years ago. So she was 55, I guess, when this came out. Something like that. Or not yet 50. Yeah, she was 55. So it happened 38 days. Streep equals 38. Gulf War. The movie's about, what happened in the Gulf War equals 38. The patrol was kidnapped. 163, which is a prime number. 38 prime. Gematria 38. They're also kidnapped. 44. So equals 44. Brainwashed. 193. 193 and 44. There is a connection. 193, the 44th prime number. Look at kidnapped. Ben Marco. That's the name of Washington's character. Both 46. And I got this screenshot from after Denzel Washington starts to get hypnotized by his mother, who calls Raymond Shaw on the phone, who's Meryl Streep is the mom, and gets him to be hypnotized to carry on the plot. I don't want to spoil it. And then I saw this number as they're walking out, 373. Those that know their prime numbers know about that number. It's the 74th prime. The Sonic, Gematria 74, Killing 74. Right? He became the assassin. I guess I spoiled it for somebody. Also, 44, that military number. This was about the military. Kidnapped. He was in the military. So I did see the original 1962 movie. That was a long time ago. Maybe I'll do a post about that at some point. So this was a 2-for-1 special. I did it on the Manchurian Candidate and Joe Biden. Saying you ain't black. God. Hilarious stuff, huh? You can't make this stuff up. It's all by the numbers. And this is one election where we haven't heard a whole lot about the candidates or the election because coronavirus is taking over. So anyway, there you go. A 2-for-1 special. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy. Talk to you later.